It's very easy to be discouraged right now. It's very easy to think we are living in our own version of the Dark Ages. But what if instead we are actually living in one of the most profound, cataclysmic, societal altering times, and we actually get to be here through it, with it, and be a part of it, make a difference in it in any way that we can. I'm in what I refer to as my sacred healing place. It's up on 30 plus acres of land in Mount Shasta. Actually, I think this area is Weed, California, but it's just above Mount Shasta. And I haven't been here for 2 years. I was introduced to this land in 2018. And I realize I've come here every 2 years. I've brought some people here, but mostly I come by myself. And it's actually an outdoor school, and they have programs during the week with kids. And I seem to get lucky and come here when there isn't a whole lot going on and I have a lot of space and time to myself. So here's my view. Let's see if I can find the right spot for this again. So what's right behind me is what's called a bark teepee. And there's, gosh, I'm sorry, let me find a spot here. There are definitely more than 100 of these, and they've all been built. This is more like a little place to put your blessings. The main ones are much bigger. Most of them are much bigger, but they've been created over the years by all the people that have come here. A lot of kids. There's a lot of apprentice type programs that he runs here. His name is Tim Corcoran, who owns this land. It's called Headwaters Outdoor School. I sleep in a tent cabin. I did sleep in one of these the first time I came. And now when I've come back, I've been able to stay in a tent cabin. And there's about, I think, 8 of those on the property. The kids don't stay in those. They stay in the bark teepees. So back to how I began this video. It might be easy for me to say this when I'm in a place like this. And I will offer that it's my orientation to being in a human body, being in this existence. We are really, really over-identified with our humanness. And in that is really the ego that's running the show. And we do need an ego. We need an ego to function. But the ego is best serving you when it is in service to your heart, when you are living more integrated. And last night I was talking to a couple of the young men that work here and work with the kids. I would imagine that they are Gen Z. And one of the young men mentioned that he was feeling discouraged. I ended up sharing a little bit about my orientation and my perspective that I wanted to offer for your consideration. Well, first of all, if what you're doing right now is working, if you're good, maybe this isn't for you. Maybe you're interested and please stay. My point, though, is I really do think a lot of humans are in a place of suffering, in some form of suffering. And there's a lot of things to be fearful about, to be challenged by. You know, we do need money to live in the world. And when that gets attacked, it really changes the dynamic of a society and of an individual. Because that first chakra and that reptilian brain, that fight, flight, stress response kicks in and it just starts pumping. And it will take over your entire existence if you don't find ways to interrupt it. And one of the most powerful ways that you can do that is by learning to be present with your existence, with your body, with your embodiment, And to imagine that just because the world and the education system that we have doesn't teach you these things as part of our standard education doesn't mean it's actually not only not worthy of your time and attention, it's actually the answer to so many things. So when you think about being alive during this time, imagining, I mean, there are a lot of things that has happened on this planet well before we came and our ancestors came. My experience of being in this life is that I am a soul having a human experience, and that I chose to come to learn. And we are all learning all the time, whether we're tracking those learnings or not. We are learning in little and big ways all the time. It can be really powerful if we pay attention. It can be really helpful to our own experience and to our own well-being and to our own sense of self if we are aware and becoming aware and watching and witnessing and taking note of and pausing and slowing down. One of the reasons why I come here, and I really would like to come here more often, and I too am very easily intoxicated by the world that we live in. And what I mean by that is I'm in the middle of building a business, and it has really challenged me in so many ways. It's been actually really amazing, and I've learned a lot. It's also been really challenging. It's kept me like kind of at it. And it's definitely brought forward that energy of like that push and that figuring out energy, which is not really what I want to be in for long periods of time, but I have been in many ways for like 2.5 years. So it takes me a minute to drop in, more than a minute, probably more like 2 days, to drop into this energy field. I live about over 10 hours away, so I do start to begin the transition on the drive. That's why I really like doing it as a drive, and I do stop halfway and stay somewhere. And I don't remember everything I said to the young men last night. And the headline was, if you are basing your idea of what life is based on what you were born into, then you will be suffering. But if you consider that you're a part of actually shifting it, if you consider that you're part of recreating it, if you consider that your being here is a part of right now, updating it, making it better, then you get to be the architect, the designer, the creator. A lot of people are really attached to their physical life, and it's really easy to be in that space. And it's not what we're thinking about when we're getting ready to take our last breath. So the offering I'm sharing is, what if instead of feeling like so much is happening to you and being really discouraged about the state of the world or the politics or the administration, I air quote that because I don't even know what it is anymore. But we could, if you give over all of your energy and your attention and your focus to the news streams, to trying to track what's happening, it will definitely take your life force. Because we're not meant to ingest that much. That's partially why we're all kind of strung out, because we're living in a world also where there's, even before AI, just this industrial revolution as it relates to the online world and the magnitude of information that we have access to and that's coming towards us. And unless you purposely either don't have a smartphone or don't use apps or are not on social media, you are likely on the receiving end of like an abundance of stimuli YouTube, I believe, is, I forget how they word it, but it is more popular, more used of watching entertainment than any other service, the Netflix, Prime, HBO, all of them. And obviously I'm here sharing my channel and growing my channel. And my intention really is being about the healing, sharing the things that are sometimes difficult to share, because I too have felt cast out or have my own fears around that, whether it's professional in the world I lived in for many, many years, or just that little girl in me that doesn't want to be, or didn't want to be, I should say, pushed out, excluded. But that's not my driver anymore. My driver is really just to own my own life and experience. So my offering is to consider that you are part of something in human history that is pretty unbelievable. And it's a powerful time. It's a powerful time to learn. It's a powerful time to question ideas and values and constructs and beliefs. It's a powerful time to ask yourself, what really matters to me? What do I really care about? What makes me come alive? What drains my energy? These are not superfluous, indulgent questions. These are lifeline questions. These are questions that if this was part of how we helped evolve humans and educate them, we would have a very different world. We're so absorbed in, essentially capitalism, but what comes with power and money, it's really a drug and it's harming us. And I'm not saying that that should all go away, but there's no balance. And we are not encouraged to get to know ourselves. You have a divine intelligence. You were born with it. Only you know what's truly right for you. And there are no accidents. Your being alive right now is not an accident. But we're so over-identified with the physical part, meaning like your name, your culture, your skin color, your religion, your identity, that all of the origins, because that's also what this world has focused in on and controlled society through. And if you were to imagine that you are a soul having a human experience and that you chose this life, you chose to come here. Perhaps you knew exactly what you were coming into. You just don't remember now. It's a different place to experience yourself. It's a different vantage point. It's a different way of metabolizing your human experience. And it's way more empowering than what we're walking through right now. A barometer I could offer you is, what is that thing, that place, that experience, maybe even a sentient being, maybe even a pet. But what are those things that when you are in them, experiencing them, near them, you drop into like just a beautiful heart space, a vibration that feels so, perhaps it's not often enough that it feels foreign, and or worry that how long is it going to last? That's your essential nature. That's who you truly are. Anything that brings love and peace, beauty, joy, the innocence, that's what's true. Everything that's not that, it's not true. It might be happening. You might be experiencing it in this life, but it's not true. It's an experience and it's an offering. I read something yesterday that it was so simple, but it was so powerful to receive it. And I'm totally going to paraphrase it, but it essentially was, when you're struggling, when you're like, suffering is a really big one for me. It's something I'm really sensitive to. It's something I really don't like. I have a hard time witnessing it. I want to be a part of moving it, changing it. It can definitely hook my codependency, but it's also where I am of service. I know it's part of why I'm here. It's part of my work. So, but when we're in that place, especially when we're feeling it like on a deeper personal level, when you don't have clarity or when something's happening and you feel like, I mean, it could be anything from like feeling like you're being punished or feeling like, why is this happening? And all of that is the universe trying to course correct you. But the resistance, the not accepting it, the fighting it, that's the suffering. That's where we can stay stuck. And again, these are all what I'm sharing with you, especially if you're listening to this. I'm telling you something that you already know. That is the only reason why you can hear this. You already know it. This is your divine intelligence. It's my divine intelligence speaking to your divine intelligence. And it's not about living a life where there's no challenge and no suffering. And no, I mean, that's part of the learning. But if you're stuck in it or you're dragging in it or you just feel like you can't shake it, you are being redirected and you're resisting it. I will definitely be sharing a few more videos or recording a few more videos when I'm here and posting them after I return home. I'm going to give you one more view of this beautiful place. I appreciate you being here with me. My name is Jennifer Herrera. If this is your jam, subscribe so that you see my content. And I'll see you tomorrow.